you guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new here. I'm Mindy and this is See Mindy Mom, and today I'm doing just a little kind of a casual, off the cuff, impromptu weigh-in and update video for you. I have been working the MyWW Purple plan. Weight Watchers just rolled out kind of some changes to their program, and that rolled out on Monday, November 11th. Today is Thursday, November 21st. It's my daughter's birthday. Sweetie pie. And I thought, since it's been 10 days, that I would kind of update you guys on how it's going. I stepped on the scale this morning and I'll share that number with you. And I know what you guys are wondering is, am I losing weight? On this program, I think a lot of people, as they're switching up their programs and the things that they're doing with the different options that Weight Watchers offered, they offered 3 different options for people. The green plan, which is the most daily points with the least amount of 0-point foods. The blue plan, which is pretty much like what they were doing, the freestyle program, a few more 0-point foods, fewer daily points. And then the purple plan is the most 0-point foods, but the fewest daily points. And to me, it looked like the most whole foods heavy option as far as the quality of the foods and eating foods, you know, real food in its natural state. And that is something that I am trying to work towards. And so that's the plan that really enticed me to try and to join Weight Watchers again. I had been counting calories. I had kind of taken a break from dieting, kind of allowed my metabolism to reset over the summer. I gained a little weight, had surgery, gained a little more weight. And so I've been just sort of chipping away at that, and I've just been counting calories. And I know what you guys are thinking is this working? Am I losing weight? And the answer is, I'm not really sure. And you guys are kind of like, well, how can you not know? Mindy, you just stepped on the scale this morning. Well, let me explain. The last time I weighed in, it was October 30th. And that was the last time that I, made a big deal of it and got on here and talked with you guys and told you what the number was. It was 148.8. And I was very pleased with that. Back in July, when I had started kind of to chip away at my weight gain, really after my surgery, I was close to 160. And when I started, after kind of the, water and the fluff and stuff that you put on during surgery, or at least that I did, kind of went away, I was sitting at right about 155 or so. So I had kind of worked all the way down to under 150, and I was 148.8 on October 30th. And that was just counting calories, making a very, very small deficit, not a big one, in my caloric intake for the day. And then I started to hear about Weight Watchers kind of making some changes to their plan, what they were going to roll out. And I was like, I'm going to see what this is all about and decide if I want to do it. So then on November 11th, which is, 12 days after October 30th, that's when the plans rolled out. And I decided, yes, I'm going to join. I'm going to go ahead and go back to Weight Watchers and give this a try and just see how it works out. Because I knew, I'd already decided even before I heard about Weight Watchers making those changes, that I was starting to take in a little too much processed stuff, and I wanted to try to clean up my diet a little bit. And I thought this would really encourage me. In that, 10, 11 day span between when I weighed in, my last weigh-in calorie counting, and when I started WW, I was just kind of like treading water. I had a few days that I tracked my calories and, kind of stayed on track. I had some days where I didn't track. I had some days where I was definitely over. I was just kind of in that like, man, I'm just going to kind of wait to recommit to it until I'm ready to jump back into Weight Watchers. And I did think to myself on the first day, Mindy, you really should step on the scale on the first day that you start the new Weight Watchers program, because you're going to want to know what that starting point was, because I had not, been eating the best, at least not every single day in the interim. And so I knew that I was probably up a little bit, if nothing else, just some water weight from like the extra sodium and sugar and stuff that I had taken in during that time. And so I did. I stepped on the scale on the very first day of starting to work the purple plan, which would have been November 11th, 10 days ago. And then I saw the number and I thought to myself, Mindy, you really should get your camera out and take a picture so you can show your friends whenever you do a weigh-in. And then I thought to myself, nah, I'll remember what the number is and I'll just be able to tell them. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't know if I'm just getting old or what. Or maybe it's just because I step on the scale a couple times a week. So for some reason, the number 150.6 is in my head. But guys, that could be from, several weeks ago or several months ago. I can't remember, or I don't have any proof at least of what that number was. So when I stepped on the scale today, the number was 148.6. So compared to my last official weigh-in, I'm basically like even, but I don't really know if I had gained a little and now I'm kind of, back even after having gained a little for taking like 10 days off or so. I don't know. But at the very least, I can at least say, okay, here's where I am now. So the next time I weigh in, I'll have something to tell you guys. I was a little disappointed. And I thought, I should not be disappointed. I'm the one who's always preaching baby steps and not making drastic changes. And especially whenever you get very close to your goal and in your recommended weight range, accepting that the weight will come off a little bit at a time. And also accepting that lots of things can throw your weight one direction or the other. How much water you take in the day before or the day before that, how much sugar you eat, how many processed things. At least for me, how much salt I take in. This is really, really important. And I have to tell myself this all the time. And if you are getting close to your goal or you are at or near your goal, you have to remember that maintenance is a range and not a specific number. Otherwise, you are setting yourself up for lots of frustration. It is very difficult when we've been in the weight loss mindset to train our brains that staying the same or even a small gain is okay, and that's going to happen, that our bodies are not just going to land on exactly the same down to the 10th of a pound every single time that we weigh in. It's just not feasible for some of the reasons that I mentioned, and for some reasons that we don't even know about. Our bodies just do crazy things sometimes. Stress, medications, whatever. And so you really have to get used to the fact that you can't freak out just because the scale goes up a tad or doesn't go down when you think it should when you are at or near maintenance. Weight Watchers, the maintenance period is 6 weeks after you reach your goal weight until you get to lifetime. And I think their maintenance range is small. It's only 4 pounds. But it's only 6 weeks you have to stay there. And then you can kind of decide, okay, do I want to dip a little lower? My goal weight number with Weight Watchers is 145. So I cannot weigh in over 147 and maintain my lifetime free status. Basically, if I went to a studio today and weighed in, I would have to pay for the meeting. I'm getting to use the tools now, but that's because I had a few of my lifetime vouchers that I had not used. When you weigh in no more than 2 pounds above your lifetime weight, you get a little voucher for the e-tools and you can continue to use those, but they're for 8 weeks. And so, I would go and weigh in for a month and then I would, get the e-tools voucher, and then I'd go weigh in the next month, that goal, below my goal weight, and I would get another voucher, but the other one hadn't even expired yet. So they kind of build up over time. So that's how I have a couple extra on hand to sort of try out the app while I'm trying out the purple plan. But anyway, all that's to say, I really think of my own personal goal range as 140 to 150. So I'm at the top of my goal range, and I'd really rather be a little bit more towards the middle just to give myself a little wiggle room, especially heading into the holidays. But I am still in my own personal goal range, and I can't just expect the scale to continue to go down every time I step on it. That's not sustainable. It is not sustainable once you are at goal. The scale might go up a little bit, and then it might go up a little bit more, and then it might go down, and then it might go down a lot, and then it might go up a lot, and then it might go back down just a little bit. I mean, those are the kind of weigh-ins that you're going to have on maintenance. One of the reasons I wanted to talk about this on my channel and like my weight loss and my weight maintenance and stuff is because I feel like there's a lot of channels devoted to weight loss and not as many devoted to maintenance. And I know that if you're in a weight loss journey, especially a long one, if you have a lot of weight to lose, it can be probably kind of trite to hear people say, maintenance is so much harder than losing weight. Maintenance is so much harder. And there are things about it that are easier, and there are things about it that are harder. I think that a lot of people just get to maintenance and are like, what do I do? So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get on here and share, because I feel like, hopefully some of the things I'm going through and some of the things I experience are helpful to people who have reached that point. But as you get closer to your goal, you've really got to retrain yourself not to be disappointed whenever the scale doesn't go down, because that's just not sustainable. It's not something that's going to happen. You're going to have to be okay with it kind of landing in a specific range, even if it's crept up a little bit from the last time. Now, obviously, if it goes up a little bit and goes up a little bit more and then goes up a little bit more, and you have several weigh-ins in a row where it's creeping up, then you might have to take a look at what you're doing and kind of get back into weight loss mode, get back into your maintenance range. But from the week to week, just 1 week to another, being up a pound or two or the same like I am, you can't just throw in the towel and say, well, this plan isn't working and I've got to change up everything and I'm going to gain all my weight back. It's really hard though to tell myself that. I still have to tell myself that, even having been here, on and off for the last couple of years being at my goal weight. So how am I liking the purple plan? I am really liking it. There are some things about it that are hard. Yes, only having 16 points daily can be difficult and they go fast. But I have found that I am eating way less processed stuff than before. I'm eating way less sugar. You know, I don't think I've had like even a little bitty package of, I think if one time in the last 10 days, I've had one of those little bitty packages of pretzels. The other time it wasn't worth the point to me. Before, when I was counting calories, I was probably eating one of those little mini candy bars a couple times a day from the trick or treat bucket and just counting the 85 calories for it and going on. But now I'm not doing that as much because those bad boys are 4 points, and 4 points is 25% of my points for the day. Now, I know I've said before that's frustrating. Yeah, it is. It is kind of frustrating when you're like, man, this really shouldn't count for 4 points. But when I am trying to clean things up and not eat as much as that of that stuff, working the purple plan definitely nudges me in that direction, because it reminds me that the value of that little teeny candy bar nutritionally, you know, what it does for my body is not the same as what, you know, 4 points of cottage cheese does for my body. You know what I mean? It just makes me really think about whether or not I want it, or if I'm just having it because I have the calories for it. I'm enjoying playing around with a lot of the foods on the 0 Point Foods list. I would say that I am eating rice and pasta, more, probably not potatoes. I think I've had one potato. No, I've had one potato, and then I had like some breakfast potatoes another time. So I don't really know that that's something that's like more than I used to eat. But I definitely have had pasta and rice a little bit more. But I was really mindful of the portion sizes of it. I was actually weighing it out for a little while just to kind of introduce myself to what a 2 ounce portion of pasta is. 2 ounces dry is a portion, and then you cook it. And when I was eating like rice and beans, I would make sure that it was not a full portion of each one of those, because I don't need a full portion of those. So I am really enjoying playing around with some of those foods and just kind of, you know, being able to cook with real foods, fruits and vegetables, whole grains. I definitely think that my diet is heading in a much cleaner direction. So I'm enjoying that. Okay, so I know this is getting kind of long. I wanted to keep it at 10 minutes, and I'm already well past that. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up because I'm sitting at Home Depot and I've got to run in and get some of those little things that keep your furniture from slipping, because I got some new furniture today. And I've been playing around. I've been working hard in the house. That's why I'm wearing my hat, sans makeup. I think I have like some concealer on, and that's about it. And I ran out and just thought I would go ahead and sit here and talk with you guys for a little bit. So I was a little disappointed in that, but I still feel like I'm doing a good job cleaning up my diet on the purple plan, and also being where I am and at the weight I'm at and in my maintenance window. It's not going to come off fast, and there's going to be lots of weeks whenever it's the same, or when it even creeps up a little bit. And I've got to remember that it's not going to be me stepping on the scale and having it be exactly to the 10th of the pound what it is. I've got to try to remember to keep things in perspective and remember the range of maintaining. Next week is the week of Thanksgiving, but I still have some videos coming out, including one that's going to be me talking about how I plan to work the holidays, how I plan to stay, accountable during the holidays, and what I plan to do to continue making progress, or at the very least maintain my weight loss during the holidays. So be sure to tune in for that, because it's going to come out the day before Thanksgiving. And I think it's going to be a collab actually with some other ladies who are going to talk about the same thing. So thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.